Hello there, Bic Benedict here. We're playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black on the Series X, and this is my Master Ninja Difficulty Gaiden walkthrough. We're currently on Chapter 15 of 17. It is entitled Quickening Devastation. So this is a pretty straightforward chapter. It's mostly bosses that you're going to be dealing with. And for Ryu, you're going to be fighting Marbus. And Marbus is a fun fight. It's just that at certain thresholds of his HP, he has the I'm not sure what that enemy is called, but they're like some version of a crab fiend, and they could definitely get in your way. But this first fight is optional, I believe, but it's going to be really difficult to get through because once you get up to about this point. There's going to be purple Vangels, I think maybe one black one, and the rest of them are, I think there's two, maybe three of the greenish ones. But, okay, so for Marbus, I would highly recommend having the Falcon's Talons for the ability to do the Flying Swallow Azuna drop. For Nimpo, probably want the Wind Blades. The Nimpo against enemies in this game, it can seem like it doesn't do very much. And with the Inferno, you're not always going to be able to kill his helpers, Marvis's helpers. So it's best to just do the job yourself with Flying Swallow Azuna drops. The move itself has a goodish amount of iframes, but you can end up colliding with him very easily. And the corpse that we just ran past has a Devil Way Mushroom if you want that, and you should save it at this point because once you defeat Marbus, you get a checkpoint, but you can't go back to the save point. So sometimes there's a random chance on these enemies that when you're fly swallowing them in the air, they lose a limb, and then when you come down on the ground, that means that they're dead. But other than that, the enemy possibly takes two fly swallow Azuna drops. You can damage him when you come down with that enemy if he's nearby, but he's the same boss from Rachel's stage. When you've avoided his whirlwind attack, I like to fly swallow over to him and then do about four Y attacks. And just remember that sometimes he'll be deceptive about his whirlwind attack. He likes to sometimes delay it and make you have different timing for it. And I don't know why he sucks up the staggered staggered essence. Sometimes you can get to it quicker than to let him have it, but I really don't know why he gets it. And it can really mess things up when you assume that there's staggered essence, and maybe you want to do a charge off the lackeys, and then it just messes up for you. But remember, if he ever hits you, and it's not easy to dodge that attack either, it's pretty difficult. If he ever hits you, you don't get an opportunity to punish him. So that's your own sort of punishment. And this is the last set of lackeys. The Dragon Sword is great for damage when you're punishing him, but you're just too vulnerable. And one of the things too is that jumping Y attack. Obviously, I never mean to do it. It's because I'm out of range of the enemy, and that's one of the more vulnerable positions you could be in this game. Now, this part over here is kind of aggravating. I'm not going to engage these enemies, I'm gonna run past them. There is a chest over here with either fish or 1,000. They don't follow you down, so there's a lot of obstacles in between you and the save point, and I really don't appreciate some of the ambushes over here. I was just looking up there to see if they were there. They go away. The void is pretty good here to cast it in between these narrow these rocks over here, but be aware that you're gonna have marionettes with these guys, and I do have camera assist off, but it's still they've made some tweaks to the camera that I really don't appreciate, and it can, it made a precarious camera even a little bit more so. But the marionettes, I don't think we've seen them yet, but you need to be really careful about not jumping anywhere around them, because they can easily cut you down, and you're kind of backed up into a wall over here, literally, because you don't have anywhere to go, and there's just two difficult sets of enemies, and then once you do finish the first bunch of them, you're all happy-go-lucky heading to the save point, and then it dims, and it's even more Van Gelfs. So I think this was a mistake. At some point over here, my depth perception was off, and I think I got nailed over here. But the scythe is pretty good for taking care of them from distance. Now you want to mind where the spawn trigger is over here, because you can really get caught off guard over here. You're gonna have more Van Gelfs spawning over here, and you can't just run to the save point. It's not gonna let you save it. So what I would recommend is maybe don't even charge, just cross the tripwire and fall back as much as you can, but be aware that they're going to be shooting fireballs at you while you're trying to run for shelter. I have the howling cannon on, because if you hit them, they'll drop and then they'll charge at you, and that's what you want, because you don't really want to go anywhere around them, especially when they're in a pack. See, well, if it hits him, see, he fell out, and I think this is the one that ended up getting a problem here, pathfinding over to me. Every time, like, I try to set something up and then go around a corner, that's always when the enemies have a hard time pathfinding. So it's this sort of situation. I knew I wouldn't be able to hit him. But sometimes the lunar ET seems like it's even stronger than the UT. It's incredible. It's such a powerful weapon. Yeah, this is, I hate when this sort of thing happens. I think he's the last one too. But you do get a checkpoint after Marbus, which is good. And then for I think I'll probably do the next fight. There's some Nimpo over here, and I'm glad that it gives you full Nimpo. 5, yeah. Sometimes they'll just give you 3 or 4, depending on what they're up to. But prior to Marbus, there are some fish, so you can get some of your essence back. I'm sorry, not Marbus. Zedonius 2. He's they've fixed up the environment in Sigma 2, so it's not like in the original where it was like a pool of lava that you could literally submerge in, and when that happened, everything was over pretty much. But he does, like I said before earlier in the walkthrough, this version of Zedonius, he has the red blood gouges, and they have a little bit more HP than the brown ones. So he's got I think he's got a couple more attacks that he does. He has well, you'll see them all premiering, and the problem is, it's just like most of the bosses is that you know, you're going to be making progress, and then all of a sudden more lackeys spawn. So I would have the Inferno on. There's two corpses over here that have items, a mushroom and grains. But since we're maxed out, we'll get them after the fight if we need to refill on those. Now, what I do is I use the scythe once more, just like in the last fight against him, and then I'll bait his grab. That's a familiar attack from before. And then he's got the fireballs attack, which is a really hard move not to get juggled from. And getting juggled from it means you're pretty much dying from it. Yeah, that move, I don't know if he had that move before. But when he is doing his laser beam type of attack, you want to definitely take the opportunity to punish that. And just remember that we're just looking for him to grab, because it's a really slow grab. We can dodge right into it and do Y with the scythe. And it's not the best environment either, but it's more serviceable than it was in the original game. That was a tough one to work with. And I can't believe I'm actually getting some of these evasions properly done. That's good damage. And then we've got more lackeys spawning from God knows where. And these ones, I wish the lackeys could be killed with just one Inferno. Sometimes maybe it seems like they can be, but it's a tough one. That is a good and tough fight right there. I wouldn't put too much mushrooms in your inventory, because you're gonna be killing a lot of fish, and they drop essence pretty readily. So just collect the two items that are over here. And then, if you need a talisman for Volf, that's great, and it's all fine, because he's a hard boss fight. But unfortunately, right before Volf, you're gonna have to fight some centaurs, and I was hoping on this version that they would checkpoint it after the centaurs, but they don't. The good thing about it, though, is that, I mean, it's not the best thing, but if you come there with the Inferno, you could dispatch the centaurs pretty quickly, and then just start on Volf, because you do have to kill all the centaurs before he comes into the fight. I think on the original game there was some overlap there, so you could actually, if you wanted to, you could have the centaurs running around while fighting Volf, but that would just be, a real ugly situation all around. So this is your opportunity to get some of your essence back. There's more fish, but I haven't gone up far enough. I'm gonna just quickly max out my my mushrooms over here. And the only items in this forest, there's one corpse like halfway down to the left that's got an herb on him, and then there's a chest at the end that'll give you 1,000. We just passed that corpse. 1,000 or a fish. So yeah, definitely use the Inferno to kill the centaurs, because that'll make real short work of them. And I just, when I think of Volf, I think of the Lunar, so I like having the Lunar. And he is susceptible to 360 UTs as well. So I think they give him a little bit more resistance, and he blocks those a little bit more. But if you stay just really tight up against Wolf, he, he has this barrage of attacks just that are just a constant thing you have to deal with. They guard break and they guard crush, and he's got one pretty nasty grab that I'm not sure if I might have got grabbed by it on this footage, but it's something that comes out of nowhere and it deals a tremendous amount of damage. So I'm going to start off. See how quickly the centaurs can get killed though with the Inferno? It's pretty good. You're not going to need any Nympho on him. If you are struggling on this guy though, you can just use the 360 in attack, 360 UT. I like to mix it up just a little bit though with some of those attacks, and then you've just got to really stay close to him and remember when he does that roar like that. He sets himself up for a UT, so he does UTs now as well. He's also got that spin UT as well. But just keep rolling into his attacks, and I like XXY, it's pretty good. X forward, YY, X is also a really strong move. He guards a lot though, and he's just extremely aggressive. So I tried different weapons, but I always just come back to this weapon because in a pinch you can UT him and things like that. He doesn't take much to Nympho either. I think the only thing that might hit him is the Void. But if you're too far away from him, he will charge at you. And it looks like we weren't grabbed on this footage. There's this 360Y spin. That's punishable at the end. You can get in some pretty good attacks. But do I or do I not like Wolf? I don't like him as a boss. I think he guards too much, and he's just not really friendly to the player as far as letting you work on him well enough. So we got a final little jab there at the end, and chapter 15 is finished, and we will move on to the 16th chapter. And when I see you there, please continue to have taken care.